Could the end of the road for Evan Neal as a New York Giant be here? We're going to break that down on today's show as you're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. I don't claim to be an insider. I don't claim to be a guy that breaks news. But I have been told by someone very trusted that I can trust inside the New York Giants organization that players and staff are concerned and wonder if Evan Neal will play at all for the New York Giants this season. It has gotten to that point. We'll dive into that more in a second, but first, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We put out free videos every day on the New York Giants, and it is game week here at Giants Now. We're trying to take down Lions Talk, a channel here at Chat Sports, hosted by my good friend Mike Rowe. Mike, he's a good dude, but I want to beat his ace. So if you love the Giants, help us beat Lions Talk, and subscribers added this week. Alrighty, so I've been told that players, coaches, and people inside the Giants building, they don't know what's going on with Evan Neal. They do not know. And let's just start here. Evan Neal has not practiced since June 11th. Evan Neal was supposed to be ready for training camp. And I remember telling you back in May that he's not going to be ready for training camp, that he had a setback to his injury, that something happened. And I also told you the Giants approached him about playing guard. I now know that is 100% the truth. He was supposed to be ready for training camp, right? He has not. We're 2 weeks in. He has not practiced. And the Giants went out and signed Greg Van Roten for a reason earlier this month. They've already shifted Jermaine Eluemunor to right tackle. What is going on? This is a direct quote. Nobody knows what is going on with Evan Neal. That is what I was told. And I think that is an indictment on Evan Neal. Nobody knows what is going on. This all started when the New York Giants misdiagnosed Evan Neal's injury last year. Remember, he got hurt? I believe it was during a game day. And then he ended up practicing that next week. Then he was ruled out for the season with a broken ankle or a broken foot. Then he had surgery in January, and he was supposed to be ready for OTAs. And he worked some on the side. Then minicamp got here, and he was actually working, not taking team reps. But then training camp got here, and nothing happened. And nothing happened. What is going on with Evan Neal? People inside the building are worried and concerned, players, coaches, and front office members, if he will play at all this year for the New York Giants. Let's try to go piece by piece here. I have been told that the New York Giants told Jermaine Eluemunor to focus on right tackle. Jermaine Eluemunor has been told by the New York Giants to focus on right tackle, which comes just a couple of weeks away from off-season workouts in the spring where Eluemunor was the left guard. The Giants started OTAs and minicamp with Jermaine Eluemunor at the left guard spot with the hopes that Evan Neal would be ready for training camp. Remember when Brian Daboll said that? We expect Evan Neal to be ready. What about when Joe Shane took the mic at the media press conference before training camp saying Evan Neal's not that far off? I just want everyone, and I'm not trying to be mean to the New York Giants. They are never going to tell you the truth about injuries. Joe Shane will lie to you. Brian Daboll will lie to you. And they have lied all offseason long about Evan Neal. They told Eluemunor he was going to be the left guard. And then 2 months later, they told him to strictly focus on right tackle. Now, why is that? This has been the Giants O-line at training camp the last couple of days. Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Jon Runyan at left guard, Greg Van Roten, who they signed from the Las Vegas Raiders last week, has only played center, has not taken a single snap at guard. And then Aaron Stinnie, who was your left guard when Eluemunor went down early in camp. They're now moving him to right guard. And now Jermaine Eluemunor is your right tackle. I feel pretty damn confident in saying this. If Jermaine Eluemunor stays healthy, if Jermaine Eluemunor does not have to miss any time because of injuries, he will start every game at right tackle this year. Jermaine Eluemunor is your right tackle, ladies and gentlemen. They've been told or he has been told by the New York Giants that he is the right tackle and to strictly focus there. And as long as he doesn't get injured and as long as shit doesn't hit the fan with his play, which I do not expect at all, I'll show you why in a second, that is going to be your starting right tackle. But I know there are still some Evan Neal truthers out there. And a guy that was selected number 7 overall just 2 NFL drafts ago should probably still be getting the nod at right tackle. So I will allow the comment section to be opened for you to decide. Pick a right tackle. Let me know. Neal, Eluemunor, you decide. Point number 2. Even Daboll, Brian Daboll, seemed unsure about Evan Neal when he was pressed by Jon Runyan of ESPN about what's going on with him. And then Dan Duggan of The Athletic backed him right up in Runyan and doubled down as well. Runyan and Duggan pretty much called Brian Daboll out and said, Joe said he was going to be ready for training camp. Or you said that, Brian. And then Joe said he's not that far off. He hasn't practiced, and preseason game number 1 is 3 days away. What the hell is going on? This was Brian Daboll's response to the questions from Duggan as well as Runyan, saying, quote, he's just rehabbing. And when he's ready, he'll be ready to go out there. But he's not ready. He's trying to do everything he can to get better. He's just not ready to go yet. When he is, he'll be ready. I'm not going to get into all the particulars. He's rehabbing, and when he's ready, he'll be ready. That sounded like a head coach to me that knows he's not going to be ready. That sounds like a head coach to me that has moved on from Evan Neal being the right tackle of this football team. That sounded like a head coach to me that didn't want to throw one of his players under the bus. The reason he did not tell you when he's going to be ready is because he does not know. The reason he did not say why he is not practicing is because he does not know. Nobody knows what is going on with Evan Neal. It is extremely strange what is happening right now with the former Alabama offensive tackle. I've got more on this topic coming up in a second, but I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use the promo code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. If you're looking to buy tickets to a sporting event, a concert, a theater event, a comedy show, or so much more, or anything else, do it with Game Time. You get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. I have used all of the ticketing apps out there, and none of them are as user-friendly as Game Time. None of them make sure you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed, and none of them have an option like all-in pricing where they don't try to hit you with all the hidden fees once you get to the checkout stage. You want to, and it's not just Giants games. I hope you guys all know that. You can go to an MLB game, NBA game, theater event, concert. It's my go-to ticketing app for all of that. I got to go to the Home Run Derby. I went to a Knicks and Mavericks game this past year. I also got to go to the Grateful Dead concert last summer, and I'm going to be continuing to use Game Time, as should you. You get in-app view of the seats that you're looking to buy. You can do so much with the app. You should download it today and support the show. Create an account. Use the promo code ChatSports, ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. I said this when Jermaine Eluemunor was signed. I said this when Jermaine Eluemunor was named the starting left guard. I said this when Evan Neal and the Giants took a step back. Eluemunor is a better right tackle than Evan Neal, and the best man should play. I don't care if it's year 3 of the number 7 pick. I don't care if Evan Neal is on scholarship. This team, this fan base, they deserve for the best player at that position to play. And Jermaine Eluemunor right now is miles better than Evan Neal. Just look at the stats. Look at what they've done over the last 2 years at right tackle. In 31 games played for Eluemunor at right tackle, compared to 20 games played at right tackle for Neal, they've given up the same number of sacks. Neal has given up double the amount of QB hits, nearly double the amount of hurries, more than 25 more pressures, and Eluemunor's only committed 2 more penalties in 11 more games. Jermaine Eluemunor is much better, and he deserves to be the starting right tackle because the best man for the job should play. And the Giants, they know that. They've recalibrated, and Jermaine Eluemunor is going to be your starting right tackle. Evan Neal had his chance. He did. He was gift-wrapped the job as a rookie. They gave him the job again as a right tackle his second year with no competition. But the only thing he proved in year one and year two is that he is not dependable. He cannot stay healthy. The best ability at times is availability. And if the Giants can't count on you, Evan Neal, to be healthy, to suit up, and to play football, why do you think you should just walk into year three, gift wrap the job? You didn't earn it. It's the NFL. It's not Alabama. It's not IMG Academy. It's the National fucking Football League. And you have to earn your job every single year. And Evan Neal has not done anything to be the starting right tackle of this football team. I've also been told that Eluemunor wants to be the starting right tackle. I was told that Jermaine Eluemunor, upon signing with the New York Giants, told them he wanted to be the starting right tackle. And I am now told that he is extremely happy that he is going to be that guy. I also love that in joint practices on Monday, Jermaine Eluemunor held his own against Aiden Hutchinson. He stood there in his stance, and he kept one of the best pass rushers at a young age out of the backfield, out of the face of Daniel Jones, outside of the pocket. And for the first time in a long time, we saw Daniel Jones, if ever, work from a pocket. And that's because you've got a pro. You've got a dude. You've got a top 20 right tackle man in that side. And I am proud to say that Jermaine Eluemunor is my right tackle. The Giants' offensive line looked good. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. My cup's done. I've already drank it all. The Giants' O-line, they looked good against the Detroit Lions on joint practice on Monday. Just one day. We'll see how they look on Tuesday, and we'll see how they look on Thursday and that game day. But it was encouraging to see this offensive line hold their own against one of the more physical defenses in the National Football League. I want to talk a little bit about John Michael Schmitz. He needs to get healthy. He's missed like 5, 6, 7 practices in a row. And the Giants signed Greg Van Roten to be the starting right guard, to play next to his best friend, the starting right tackle, Jermaine Eluemunor. But we haven't seen it yet. Van Roten hasn't even taken a single snap at guard. It's because John Michael Schmitz has not practiced. He says he's getting closer. He's been wearing pads, just working on the side, no team drills. But I want to see this starting offensive line week one. I want to see Andrew Thomas at left tackle. I want to see Jon Runyan at left guard. I want to see John Michael Schmitz in year two take a step and be that starting center for the foreseeable future. And I want to see Greg Van Roten and Jermaine Eluemunor be right shoulder to left shoulder and own that side of the line like they did for the Las Vegas Raiders when the Raiders were graded out as a top 12 unit by every single metric. I need this to be the starting offensive line week one. Because this right here, this offensive line with Andrew Thomas, Jon Runyan, JMS, Greg Van Roten, and Jermaine Eluemunor is the best Giants offensive line since Eli Manning was on this team. Is it great? No. But it's pretty dang solid. And I'll take pretty dang solid over the second worst offensive line in NFL history last year, because that's what the Giants were. Grade this offensive line for me. If this is your starting offensive line week one, how would you grade it? Be honest. Get out your red pen. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear from you in the comment section right now. Trying to be non-biased because I know how much of an upgrade that is. That's a solid C+, man. That's a solid C+. I wanted to go B-. I did. But that is a solid C+. That is an above-average offensive line. And above average is awesome for the New York Giants on the offensive line because nothing matters until the offensive line is fixed. And I will applaud Joe Schoen for going out and signing Jermaine Eluemunor, going out and signing Jon Runyan, bringing in Stinnie, bringing in Schlottman, and signing Greg Van Roten in training camp. I've been very critical about the lack of assets he's put to this offensive line. I'll give him credit for what he did this offseason. If you're ready for the season to maybe see a good offensive line, hit that thumbs up icon for me. I'm pumped up. It's game week. Got a couple more sleeps, and I want to take down Dan Campbell and those dirty, fake, tough guys down in Detroit. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Let's talk some Giants football over there.